Hello, I'm Kyle. Welcome to Give Pause Hobby, a channel where I stop to appreciate the things I love to fill my free time with. And today we're starting a little bit of a new series here. So I gotta be honest, there's a lot of games I love to play, a lot of games I love to make videos about, but there is one project that I have been almost like monomaniacally focused on for the past few months, and that is Project Jumpstart. So on the social medias where I'm, where I lurk, and here on the channel, videos up in the corner, there have been ever since this past summer, but really in the past 3, 4, 5 months, has been heavily focused on this crazy idea that I had of taking Jumpstart from Wizards of the Coast, the Magic the Gathering product, and making it infinitely replayable, which is not the way it is designed to work. I'll talk more about that in the video here. And my idea is, well, two ideas. First, this is what I'm spending so much of my free time working on, that I kind of owe it to myself to spend my time making content about it. Don't hide that candle under a bushel. Like if it's important enough for me to spend 150 plus hours on it, which is where I'm at. I'm showing it on the screen right now because it's so friggin' bonkers. If it's important enough for that, and I am 100% in support of that amount of time because of how much fun it is to play, then it probably deserves just, me focusing on that and not trying to find other things to post about, which is, to be fair, what I've done ever since came back from the break. Now, these are going to be shorter videos, which I know is a rarity on this channel. Hopefully this will be on the longer side of these videos with a little bit more of an intro, just kind of getting used to the format. I'm aiming for in the 10 to 15 minutes, just talking about a couple decks or a couple themes, because Jumpstart is made up of 2 themes that you put together to make one 40-card deck, and something about the game. In this case, the one flaw, the one issue I had with it when I first approached it years ago, and then sold the cards and never looked back until this past summer. So the thing that I had to work through, and what has led to this, hours and hours and hours and hours, days of work to get it to the point it's at now, which is super fun, I'm here to tell you. And I'm not saying that everyone who is interested in maybe going on a crazy journey like mine has to put in, tens of dozens of hours like I have. 10 of dozen of hours. Let's be real. There's a much, there are more streamlined approaches you can take for sure. But in my case, I'm just kind of going all out. And so each chapter is just going to be a little feature, like a facet of this, again, ongoing hobby that I've created within a hobby, and to show off the cards that are in each of the themes. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn around here and going to make a little video for you. My intent for these, again, 10 to 15 minutes. Also, we'll see, I have a lot of chapters already plotted out, and I do really love this new 2 things a month release schedule. I honestly don't know how I was doing one video a week for so long as a father and a teacher and someone who has, hobby to get to. But we'll see how this goes. There are enough videos that when I'm thinking only one game video a month, because the other video is typically an Old Lady Kate video, link in the corner for those game folks out here who haven't checked out that other side of what I do on the channel now. That's pretty easy math. If I have 10 chapters worth of stuff that I'm interested in talking about, that's 10 months of content, that's just super drawn out. So I don't know, we'll see. Some months there might be a third video. We talked about in the week 2 and 4 in the month, there might be a little video interjected if something's in the pipeline. So we'll see how it goes. But again, this is hopefully the longest of all of them, but it's already getting longer. So let's get to the table and I'll show you what's in these first two themes, +1 and Garruk. All right, so we have +1 and we have Garruk. So we're gonna go through them in that order because that's the order I opened them in. So yeah, these were the first two themes I ever opened for Jumpstart way back when I first got the packs, and then I realized the the cardinal sin that there was no way to tell these cards apart. The camera can even pick that up. So these tiny little labels, I'm showing you a picture on screen right now of the process I go through to make these. They're taped onto the bottom of the cards or the proxies, depending on what card I'm talking about. And this is the only way that I would really know these two things from being apart, like from two different themes. Now, usually I don't play mono like Jumpstart, and usually it's always non-mono, so two colors combined. But the labels are, you can't really tell because these are both green, are like vaguely, like lightly color coded, but then have the name of the theme printed on them. So when I first opened this product, I assumed, there we go. I assumed that this would have some of the same kind of like things in place that say Jumpstart, not Jumpstart, this is Jumpstart, Smash Up, for those who are familiar with that board game property, would have some of the same things in place of how you take those apart, where you're making a set of like alien ninjas or dinosaur whatever. Hey, look, theme picture. And there weren't. So I opened it up, and that's, if you had different colors, like great. You had, where are all my lands? Oh, they're way back here. They're not shuffled. Okay, well, this one's a weird one. So let's just do the boring lands first. Usually I'm taking these just right out of my, right out of the box, and it has the lands just like shuffled in because they're ready to play. So we always have Thriving something or other as usually our one non-basic land. And then we have a bunch of basic lands, which again, for other ones will be kind of mixed throughout. That first one was the +1/+1 specific. I need to go back because later on I started getting extra fancy, and I made sure that I had one of each land. There are no duplicates. And I, in buying so many packs of just like bulk land, I went through and I picked ones that actually kind of looked like the themes that I was putting them into. So anyways, in Smash Up, you would have a way to know where which theme the things came from. Oh, what this must have been a time when I was going through and like inventorying the types of cards that are in this set, because they are all together. I don't believe the Garruk one is going to be like that. I love that. Just like jaunty looking cat there. I have no idea how the camera's doing here. Editing Kyle, how's it going? So yeah, and there's the one rare in the prime, the core like jump set starts. There's usually one or two rares, and that definitely in later like boxes, which we'll get to down the road, that definitely stopped being the norm. There are themes that have lots and lots of rares in them. So you can see this one, +1/+1, being kind of aimed around making creatures bigger, and then using things like Hunter's Edge to make them bigger and then do their damage outside of combat. It's got a big bulk of creatures, but also some instants and sorceries. So pretty standard stuff. When I opened this up, I was excited because I was just looking at Magic cards for the first time, like in my hands for the first time in years. I played from 04 to 09 and then just like stopped because I went to Michigan State University, didn't want to rebuild my gaming group, And so I didn't. I just kind of left it in the past and decided I was gonna, move on. Speaking of which, Garruk. So when I came back to this, I was really excited, just because, again, to have Magic cards in hand, but being way more into board games by the time I got to this, in my mind, I was thinking this was going to be just a great way for me to get my Magic fix, which other games had attempted and failed to really, achieve. I just love. It's not even that some of these are like chonky boys. They're just like, like danger beasts. Look at that, 7/3. And again, make creatures big. This one, not so much do damage outside of combat, but like trample effects. So we got some more forests in here. Oh, and then the man himself. So Garruk Unleashed. So it's exciting to open this one up. This is my second one. I opened way back when Jumpstart was first coming out, because while Planeswalkers were like starting to come into play at the end of my time, we didn't really have very many of them. Was that Lorwyn was the first one that had Planeswalkers? And so they're still pretty rare. There definitely weren't a ton of spells that were like referring to Planeswalkers generally, or like removing them or anything like that. And they were pretty expensive. I had one, a Johnny, that I somehow got, and I was in my like Boris Swift Guide Winds deck. So just like getting this was also really cool. But you'll notice on the theme, I put a little label down here for Planeswalker. I'll show you one later for Planeswalker Juniors. But for old heads like myself, that Planeswalkers, that wasn't a card type, I wanted to let them know, like if they're drafting themes, that this one had a Planeswalker in it, so they could take that for what it was worth. For people who are playing now, I guess that's just like more information that they're happy to have. But for people who are lapsed Magic players, they either might want to take something with Planeswalker because they want to try something new, or they might want to avoid it. So that was my decision to do that there. So anyways, yeah, open up Garruk. Super excited to be back into Magic. See, another Danger Beast. Brush Strider. Wow. Brush Strider. Nailed it. So I love this card. Just like a great card to keep pressure on your opponent. Specifically hexproof from black. Take that, Liliana, and all your kind. Look for creatures and a Garruk Planeswalker from the top of your deck. I love it. Anyways, in Smash Up, you can remove or rather unshuffle your deck that you're making, because everything has a really clear. Now that's just a chunky boy, just a 4/4, just a cube. It's really clear where they're coming from, because everything has like a little logo in the corner. I'm showing you right now. And this way it makes it super simple when you're done. Take them apart, put them back in the box, you're ready to play another game down the road. And when I got to Jumpstart, I was like, are you serious? Like I was under the assumption, apparently incorrectly, that Jumpstart was just Wizards like answer to like a Magic the Gathering IP non-infringing smash up. There's like, well, we're gonna do this too, but with our cards. And then I get to it, and there's no method to actually remove them. Now, you could obviously, that light's a little harsh down there, isn't it? You could obviously go and like print off deck lists, I suppose, and then you just have to like read the cards, which to a certain point I have done here. So like in my inventory, I tell you like what set it's from, the lands it has, because you'll notice I did not label the lands, because I saved myself 6 to 8 cards that I didn't need to do every theme, and I have 50 some themes. So I'll probably wind up going back and doing it again, because I am doing that in the Ravnica and Lord of the Rings ones. But when I was first getting into this, I was like, how can I get out of some of these labels? And then tokens, which we'll get to in a second. So I have a little bit of that in there, but this is so much more simple. I mean, it's right there. It's small, yes, but usually when my friends and I get done with the game, they just naturally start taking their cards and putting them into 2 piles. And so it's just like really nice to reduce cleanup time because of that. And yeah, again, I just can't believe that I had to do something special, that Wizards wasn't doing that themselves. But that was the one like major hurdle that I needed to get over. And I'm glad that I did, because man, I am absolutely in love with this version of playing Magic. There are many, as I alluded to before, there are many chapters planned for me talking all about what I've done with this crazy game, and that just wouldn't be possible if it wasn't fun. There would be no reason for me to go into all those lengths, and Lord knows it is super duper fun. So yeah, and honestly, it's opened up in my mind as like a extremely surface level hobby board game, not only player, but like tinkerer and like designer, of all these different ways you can take the building blocks and the structure of Magic and make whatever you want to call them, like battle boxes, or dual cards, or in this case my Project Jumpstart. It's led to me in a project that otherwise would have been insane, like a whole set cube. Now that I've gone and done so much with Jumpstart, that's not that far out of the realm of possibility for me at some point in the future. For now, I'm perfectly happy working on the hobby horse that I have. But it like with many creative endeavors, it sort of opens up the mind to think about these other things. So as I showed on my inventory card, another part of this project, and we'll talk more about this next time. The next chapter is kind of specifically about tokens, but the tokens that the cards would need, a few beasts, and the Garruk Unleashed emblem. Which at first I didn't really want to do these, or actually I didn't really know they existed, and then when I did, I was like, I don't think I need that. I have the Planeswalker card, but the whole idea of having the emblem is when you don't have the Planeswalker card. For instance, if you get it to 7 and you immediately make the emblem, which is probably a significant amount of time emblems are made, is like a killing blow for the Planeswalker in question. The emblem stays behind when this card goes to the graveyard. So anyways, that's Garruk. Another, I haven't honestly played with this one. It's funny, these are like my first 2 sets or themes that I opened of Jumpstart, but I have so many now that I haven't really had time to play it all that much. But both are super fun indeed, and I can't wait to bring you more of these crazy themes as I continue with this series. So more chapters to come, roughly this length, if not hopefully shorter a little bit. So a little bit different format, and hope you enjoy. Until then, happy gaming, and we'll see you next time.